Alright guys, so as you know, I'm making this video because I'm not here today. So you guys need to be watching this video to complete the review. As I told you guys on Friday, I'm going to let you use the review to do your test. So you need to make sure this is done so that you have it for the test. So we want to find each value if f of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 5. So number one is f of negative 2. So what this means is that I'm going to take and put negative 2 in for x here and here. So that's negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 plus 5. At this point, you can put that in the calculator. Stop trying to do everything without it. So if we go to our calculator, we have negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 plus 5. Remember to put these parentheses here, because if you don't, you're going to get the answer wrong. I've told you guys that now for months. When you do that, you get 15, which is the correct answer. The answer to that one is 15. Alright, same thing here. So this is negative 1 squared. Again, remember the parentheses. Minus 3 times negative 1 plus 5. So we put in negative 1 squared minus 3 times negative 1 plus 5. When I do that, I get 9. Make sure you're putting these parentheses. If you don't do that, you're going to get it wrong. And you're putting this in the calculator. Remember parentheses. If you don't remember them, you will get it wrong. Alright, so identify the parent function represented by the graph. So that graph right there is an absolute value. The parent function for the absolute value is f of x equals the absolute value of x, or y equals x. What is the domain and range? Almost every single function we went over has the negative infinity to positive infinity. What you have to remember about that is that means that it is all real numbers. What is the range of the parent function? Well, the parent function, if you remember, does that. So the range starts at 0 and goes up. So it is 0 to positive infinity, or you can think of that as y is greater than or equal to 0. Alright, so we want to describe the transformation in y equals absolute value of x minus 3 and graph. So let's talk about our transformations. Alright, so if we have f of x plus 3, that went up. F of x minus 3 would go down. F of x plus 3, where now the plus 3 is inside, goes left. F of x minus 3, where the minus 3 is on the inside, goes right. So what happens to this one? Well, this one here means that it went down 3. So that means that the 0, 0 would be down 3, not 2. So 1, 2, 3. We would have been here. 1, 2, 3. And if you don't know, or you don't want to graph that by hand, my suggestion is put it in the calculator. So if I go to my graph and I put in absolute value, so that's that button, enter, absolute value of x minus 3, that's what I get. If I hit Control T, now I pick up those ordered pairs. So we have what? 1, negative 2, negative 2, negative 1. You go up, what you see is you see that repeating. This is where you want to be. So negative 1, negative 2, 0, negative 3, 1, negative 2. If I come back, 0, 3, negative 3, 1, negative 2, negative 1, negative 2. So my graph is going to look like that. Okay? Right there, where that negative is outside. So let's talk about that real quick. F of x, and really negative f of x, which is what you have here, is a reflection over the x-axis, and f of negative x, where the negative is inside, is a reflection over the y-axis. So in this case, that's reflecting over the x-axis. So one of them is reflection x-axis. The +2 on the inside of the absolute value is like this, so that means it's going left. So this is left 2 units. Alright, so graph each inequality and name a point that is a part of the solution set. So we have to first solve this for y. So we're going to subtract x from both sides. So that's negative 3y is less than negative x plus 6. Divide by negative 3. Now remember, there's a 1 right here. So dividing by the negative means I have to flip my symbol. Negative 1 over negative 3 is positive 1/3 x. 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. So what you want to do now is you want to graph in our calculator the equation. So don't use the inequality, graph the equation first. So we're going to get rid of this table. We're going to clear what we have. We're going to put in the equation first. So control divide 1 over 3 x minus 2. What this is going to allow me to do is use my table to get my ordered pairs. So I'm going to use negative 3, and 0, negative 2, just because they're there. It doesn't matter which ones you use. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And then 0, negative 2. Now, this symbol right here means that it is a dashed line. Dashed line. So we're going to draw our dashed line going through those points. Now, you could either know greater than means you're going up from any of these points, or at this point you can go back to your calculator, Control T, Tab, and what we want to do is we want to come over here, delete the equal sign, and we want the greater than symbol, 4. Then we hit enter, and it gives us our dashed line and our shading. So our shading for this is up here. So you want to first graph the equation, then change to the inequality so that we can graph. So now we want to point in the solution set. I'm going to pick any point within here. Well, 0, 0 looks like it's in there, so I'm going to use the point 0, 0 and be done. Alright, so this is as far as I really could get. I don't want to make it too long for each of them. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I got 15 minutes. We're going to keep going. So, we're going to subtract 2x from both sides on this one. So that's 4y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 12. Divide by 4. Now this time we're dividing by a positive, so I don't have to flip anything. So that's negative half x plus 3. So now we're going to graph this. So what I would do, delete what you have, tab. We're going to change this equation to the one that we have. So control divide, negative 1 over 2 x plus 3. Go to your table, pick your points. 2, 2, 4, 1 look like two good points. So 2, 2, 4, 1. Now, the or equal to, that is a solid line. So now, I'm not going to be able to use that because there's no way I'm going to draw that one well. So I'm going to use the power of technology to draw my line because I know it's solid. Alright, so solid line. Less than means I would go down from any point. Alright, so like I was saying, solid line. Now what we need to do is shade. So if you're not sure how the shading is going to go, you get rid of your table. We go back up to here. We come back over. We delete. We want less than or equal to, so that's number 1. And what you see is you have the solid line that we drew, shadings down here. So that means my shading is over here. And again, it wants us to pick a point from the solution set. 0, 0 looks like it's there, so I'm going to use it. Alright, so we're going to stop this video here. I will work on another video to go through more. Hopefully that'll be the last one. These graphs take a little while. So watch this one, complete those, watch the next one after it.